All praises, honor, and glory go unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, that's out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going out in the streets, teaching and preaching. This is your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another news update. This is for fair use, fair use, fair use. All right, I'm not getting paid off of none of this. All right, it's for fair use and educational purposes only. Without further ado, I'm getting into it. So, let's go.
We've reached a deal today on fish. Shut up, you cunt!
For our security, for our prosperity, for our shared destiny on this continent. And this is what it's all about today.
The fuck is Medusa talking about? Our shared destiny. Yeah, you're just gonna get us nuked eventually, all fucking at the same time, ain't ya? They literally started banging on about fucking Ukraine. More support for Ukraine. The fuck is this? Telling you now, he has completely fucking sold us up. Take a look at it, shall we? A new deal will keep the current status quo, giving EU boats continued access in UK waters until 2038. How can you be fucking making these rules up if you're not going to be in power? You're not going to be there in 20. What the fuck is this? Farming exports. In return for extending current fishing rules, the UK has secured a deal to reduce exports to the EU. Officials will drop some routine border checks on animal and plant shipments to and from the EU. Why don't I like the sound of this last part? Are they going to stop the boats, reduce the amount of boats coming in, only for them to be smuggled in by the fucking lorries? I would not be surprised. Youth experience scheme, oh fucking hell. So basically, young people can travel to and from the UK and Europe and live, work there, and yada 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 for about 2 to 3 fucking years. How fucking wonderful that is for everyone else. And we also have the great, wonderful, amazing deal they've done here on British holiday makers will be able to use e-gates on European airports. Well, fucking hooray! We've all been fucking asking for this, haven't we? Actually, he has sold us out. Sold us fucking out, and there's going to be more to come. This is just the start. This is just the start of what is going to... There's going to be so much more to come. Trust me. Fuck's sake.
Are you going to continue to spend at that kind of level on future elections?
I think in terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
And why is that?
I think I've done enough.
Is it because of blowback?
Well, if I see a reason to do political spending in the future, I will do it.
It now takes China 77 seconds to make a car. So in this factory, the Xiaomi SU7 is sold for about $30,000. And it takes 77 seconds to make. What the shit?
Well, breaking fuck the news. It is being reported that Israel is preparing to strike Iran's nuclear facilities. This comes after the Iran-U.S. talks about their nuclear program have fallen through. U.S. officials have stated that there's nothing set in stone yet, but it does seem and to appear Israel is ready to strike Iran directly.
A Confederate museum full of hatred and foolishness has fallen. In Fort Branch, North Carolina, Confederate Earthworks Museum, baby, they took a tumble. They were building this museum of hate and racism and just grossness, and God said, not so fast. A tree knocked down the entire museum. It's a complete and total loss. They did not have insurance. They cannot pass go or collect $200. Okay? Look at God. I love that. I love that. You know, I really do. You can never win when you play dirty.
أمان تخلصوا العالم ريح ولا والله تعبنا والله تعبنا أمان تخلصوا العالم أمان تخلصوا والله تعبنا صبحنا نسلحكم في الشوارع والله تعبنا يا رب والله تعبنا مش عارفين وين نروح يا ربي مساكن ضيقنا يا رب وين نروح ما نشغل الله ما نشغل الله يا رب ما نشغل الله يا رب ما نشغل ربنا يمسك علينا يا رب يا رب شهيد كل يوم حدا يا رب كل يوم شهيد يا رب نشوفه والعيوين وما ندور عليه والله تعبنا يا رب والله تعبنا يا رب ما توقفوا العالم والله
Did y'all hear what Trump planning on doing? This man is planning on building a golden dome over America for missile defense, y'all. I'm not even joking, y'all. They said this shit can cost over $175 billion. And even down the line, costs $500 billion. My only thing is, where the fuck we getting this money from? They gonna use our tax dollars? Like, what the hell is going on? That's a lot of fucking money. And the crazy part about this, they say this is not just some little land-based shit. They're talking about satellites having laser weapons on them. They even talk about space interceptors and hypersonic defenses. This shit sound like some shit out of Star Wars, right? Or am I tripping? Trump said y'all got me fucked up if y'all think missiles gonna come into America from the likes of China or Russia or any other people that think they got hypersonic missiles that's gonna come into our area. So they said some of the names that's gonna be involved in this is Elon Musk and Lockheed Martin. They said that this shit should be done by 2029, y'all. I need y'all thoughts down below on this shit.
We're in the big bang of the intelligence explosion. Like we have courtside seats to the big bang of intelligence explosion. One thing's for sure, it won't be boring.
No.
So if
you don't seem to be saying there's a 20% chance of annihilation as often anymore.
I think we should always consider that there's some chance of a bad outcome to try to protect against the bad outcome. We don't want to be complacent and say that everything's just going to be fine. There's no chance of a bad outcome. I sort of think of this maybe in movie terms as like, are we in a Star Trek movie or like, are we in a Gene Roddenberry movie or a James Cameron movie?
Right.
Which movie are we in here? And you could either have a Roddenberry or a Cameron outcome. And I think in this case, we want the Roddenberry outcome.
Yeah.
Cascadia fault line is the focus of a new study, breaking down the flooding potential a 9.0 earthquake could bring to the Pacific Northwest and the Northern California coastline. It's a fault about 700 miles long, running from Northern California all the way up to Vancouver, British Columbia. capable of producing a massive quake, which was last seen in 1700. Dr. Lucy Jones says while we would still see damage for coastal areas, this fault line is offshore, so the heaviest shaking would be underwater.
So basically all of the coast of Northern California, Oregon, and Washington will be like the San Fernando Valley and the Northridge earthquake. And we had 10 miles, and this is going to be 700 miles or something like that. So it's going to be a much larger area that is hit by the shaking.
The study, conducted by Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, provides calculations of possible scenarios where coastal areas could sink by several feet.
I think the other aspect that's sort of the newsworthy thinking about it is what does it mean in a time of sea level rise? And it's another compelling reason to really do something about climate change.
But Dr. Lucy Jones says the possibility of this monster earthquake actually isn't the worst case scenario.
The most damaging earthquake I can think about was actually not even on the San Andreas. It would be a magnitude 7.5 under Los Angeles. Because the thing in the West Coast where we have relatively young rocks compared to the East Coast, and they're softer then.
So where exactly are the most concerning areas? Dr. Jones lists the faults capable of a 7 as the Newport-Inglewood Fault, Hollywood, Santa Monica, Whittier, and Puente Hills. She says there are about 100 faults under LA, but the worst model output is the Puente Hills Thrust, a fault that runs right under downtown Los Angeles.
It's bad luck if you happen to hit the century that we have the magnitude 9, but those 7s in Los Angeles are more deadly.
Well, the robots have arrived, at least in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger-flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict on a taste test.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle. As this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it will take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too. A cheeseburger. Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
We can't get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills. They're dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry experts say most of those unfilled jobs could be done by robots. And in California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers will soon be $20 an hour, fewer workers equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI.
They got video footage. Megan, pray that she's lying, bro. You guys remember, Representative Luna has stated that she had evidence in the next 36 hours that would prove Tory Lane. Well, I'm about to play the clip, but she claims that Tory Lane's attorneys have video footage off of a Ring camera from what happened that night, and that they plan on dropping it.
Some ring footage, so video footage. I've actually just talked to one of his attorneys, and so that will likely be released in the next, whatever they said to release it, just a couple days. So does the attorney have that footage? Oh, yeah, they have actually a lot of evidence. I'm surprised that, a lot of people...
Oh, no, drop that footage right now!
time has come for robots. Robots have the benefit of being able to interact with the physical world and do things that otherwise digital information cannot. We know very clearly that the world has severe shortage of human laborers, human workers. By the end of this decade, the world is going to be at least 50 million workers short. We'd be more than delighted to pay them each $50,000 to come to work. We're probably going to have to pay robots $50,000 a year to come to work. And so this is going to be a very, very large industry. There are all kinds of robotic systems. Your infrastructure will be robotic. Billions of cameras in warehouses and factories, 10, 20 million factories around the world. Every car is already a robot, as I mentioned earlier, and then now we're building general robots. Physical AI and robotics are moving so fast. Everybody pay attention to this space. This could very well likely be the largest industry of all.
Prisoners are being cooked alive inside a sweltering prison and scared they won't make it out alive. Texas has been experiencing severe heat waves in recent years, with temperatures soaring above 37.8 Celsius. Joseph Matry has been incarcerated in a Stell Unit Texas prison for 16 years and recently fainted from the oppressive heat inside his cell. A recent investigation suggests that up to 13% of inmate deaths may be due to intense heat. This leaves prisoners terrified that they may not wake up. Joseph said after losing consciousness, he wasn't given any water or ice for over 5 hours. An advocate for the Texas prison community said, prisons are greatly endangering the lives of inmates by refusing to install air conditioning. A communication official for Texas's criminal justice said they take numerous precautions to lessen the effect of hot temperatures for those incarcerated within our facilities.
We believe the shooting was committed by a single suspect who is now in custody. Prior to the shooting, the suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents. After the shooting, the suspect then entered the museum and was detained by event security. Once in handcuffs, the suspect identified where he discarded the weapon, and that weapon has been recovered, and he implied that he committed the offense. The suspect chanted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody. The suspect has been tentatively identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, Illinois.
So what? Consider Israel's Iron Dome system, the one used to fight off rocket and mortar attacks. Now imagine the technology is improved, its power, scope, and capabilities greatly expanded. U.S. President Donald Trump says that's his vision for the Golden Dome missile defense system.
Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world, and even if they're launched from space.
Trump says it will cost $175 billion and should be operational in less than 4 years by the end of his term. He claims...
We have major breaking news right now. The House of Representatives has officially passed a Republican budget bill that will cut Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP. The final just minutes ago. The final vote tally is as follows. 215 Republicans voted for the bill. 212 Democrats voted against the bill. 2 Republicans voted against the bill. So the final tally was 215 in favor, 214 against. This bill has massive cuts to critical government programs, including Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP. Over $200 billion in cuts to SNAP, over $600 billion in cuts to Medicaid, and it would result in major cuts to Medicare as well. The bill would also increase the deficit by about $3.8 trillion over the next 10 years. It would codify Donald Trump's tax cuts, the tax cuts that were passed in 2017. It also includes increased spending for a number of programs like defense spending, immigration enforcement, etc. I'll have a full breakdown shortly on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
A tree trimmer was working on that palm tree when he somehow made contact with live electric wires. He was electrocuted and killed. His body, however, remained in that tree for quite some time. First responders in Magnolia tell us that his body was actually in the tree about 30 or 40 feet up until about 1:30 this afternoon. That's how long authorities had to wait until CenterPoint could turn off electricity to this area. They had to make sure nobody else was in danger before they could safely remove the body. In all, about 1,500 people were without power, without electricity for some time as they conducted this operation. CenterPoint reminding folks that when you are working anywhere near live lines, you need to be at least 10 feet away to ensure that tragedies like this does not happen.
Now, if AI will be smarter than any person, how many jobs go away because of that? And what do people do if you've got millions of people that are losing their jobs like that? A lot of people are understandably freaked out about that.
Goods and services will become it's close to free. It's not as though people will be wanting in terms of goods and services.
So why is that? Why are goods and services free in an AI world or close to free?
Well, you have, I don't know, call it tens of billions of robots. They will make you anything or provide any service you want for basically next to nothing. It's not that people will have a lower standard of living. They'll have actually a much higher standard of living. The challenge will be fulfillment. How do you derive fulfillment and meaning in life?
Shots have been fired, y'all. And I'm not talking about your little typical shots. I'm not talking about no little beef. The shit Elon Musk said out his mouth about Bill Gates, if you got a brain, you can understand what he's trying to get at. I'm obviously not going to say it on here. So y'all should just say it down below in the comments. And they said Bill Gates didn't want no smoke with Elon Musk. It was on the news. And when Elon said what he said, the crowd started cheering, y'all. Some people even gasped like, y'all, look at this video.
I do want to ask you about USAID and the comments that Bill Gates made the other day, which I know that you called him. Yeah, he's a huge liar. I know, you've said that already. I wondered, and I'm just... Who does Bill Gates think he is to make comments about the welfare of children, given that he frequents Jeffrey Epstein?
Then after that, the lady said, well, he said he regret those days. Y'all know why he regret those days.
This is the Karam Shalom border crossing between Israel on this side and Gaza through that gate over there. And this is a holding centre between Israel and Gaza, and it's where all of the aid that's now getting into Gaza is brought. It's offloaded, as you can see, off the Israeli trucks, and it's put onto Gazan trucks and taken through to the other side, of course, where it's badly needed. At least 100 trucks a day, if not more, are needed, say the UN agencies. But of course, for a couple of days, it had been stuck on the Gazan side, and that's because the IDF, the Israeli army, weren't allowing Gazan drivers to come up and pick the trucks because there was no safe route on the other side. The UN and other agencies are really worried about looting and theft by criminal gangs, so scarce is food aid. But that has now been sorted out, so all of this food aid, which is mainly flour, is making its way to bakeries in Gaza where it's really badly needed. The big question now is, as you can hear the bombing in the background, how long will this aid run last?
The Trump administration just halted Harvard University's ability to enroll international students. This is breaking news, marking a major escalation in the administration's efforts to pressure the university to fall in line with the president's agenda.
No
NOAA is set to announce their hurricane seasonal forecast at about 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central Time later today. In fact, NOAA will be releasing that outlook down in Gretna, Louisiana. That's just outside of New Orleans, and that's actually where Fox Weather correspondent Brandy Campbell is this morning. Brandy, good morning to you. Just a few hours away from this announcement. I mean, if you are a fan of these outlooks and seeing how things look for a given season, today's a really important day.
Yeah, good morning to you, Steve. And yeah, for those people who are just curious, as this hurricane season gets closer to us starting on June 1st, today is the day to get a glimpse into what could happen. So at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to get that press conference underway, and they're going to initially just let us know, one, are they expecting this hurricane season to be below average, near average, or above average in terms of activity? But on top of that, they're going to give us a little bit more insight, and that'll go into how many named storms we might see, how many hurricanes, and also how many major hurricanes might form, regardless of if they make a landfall or not. We also expect the factors that influence that forecast of theirs. They'll announce that as well. So what's driving their belief behind how active this season could be. And we'll also probably learn about any tools, new practices, or upgrades that they'll have for this season as well. Now, so far, we've already received the outlook for this season from Colorado State University. They are calling for an above-average season with 17 named storms. Of those, there'll be 9 hurricanes, they say, with 4 of those at a Category 3 or higher. And for their research, they've cited the above-average subtropical Eastern Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea surface temperatures. That is the driving force for their prediction. Now, in this
Well, breaking news. A small private jet has crashed in the San Diego area, crashing into multiple homes. All 6 people on the private jet are presumed to be deceased. Apparently, one of the people was a drummer for The Devil Wears Prada. I'm not into bands and stuff like that, so I don't know this gentleman. But, yeah, please go check on you people. Well, breaking news. A small private